What's up, y'all? It's your boy, student Dr. Malachi Wright, and I look sweaty because I am sweaty. I just got back from the gym. Today's gonna be a pretty interesting video for you all. So I know I haven't been vlogging as much recently, and that's on me because I've been trying to catch up with a whole bunch of other things in life. I have like so many excuses to give y'all, but honestly, there's really no excuse. I just haven't been as consistent as I want to be when it comes to making YouTube videos. So in order to revert from that, I'm definitely going to try to be more consistent, posting a video every single week because I'm reiterating to myself and just remembering why I started this YouTube channel. And it's not for the followers, it's not for trying to get monetized, even though following, liking the videos and stuff will help get these videos out to more people. But it's really about the service that I'm providing to you all, for those who may feel like they have no chance of getting into dental school, or may come from an underrepresented minority community and feels like there's not a lot of people in this space talking about this stuff. So today's video, I wanted to give my reaction on a video that I saw on this YouTube channel called Mission to Medicine. And it had student Dr. Eli on there, as well as a medical student named Akeem. And one of the things I'm going to be bringing to you guys in the new year that I have been working on for about 2 months now is getting medical students from University of Maryland, also one of my buddies who's a medical student in the Army Academy, and some other individuals from different avenues of healthcare professions to show you guys what their days are looking like and their journey into getting into the professions. But in today's video, what I really want to do is I want to react to this video that I saw on Missions of Medicine page, because I feel like it's so necessary for us to have these conversations in these different spaces. So before I go too long-winded here and get into all the content I have later on in this video, I'm gonna hop in the shower real quick because y'all know we got that workout in. I'll probably post some clips of me working out. What did we do today? We did back today, shoulders today, abs today. We did some dips, so technically that counts as chest. And we did some pull-ups too. One of the things I've been trying to work on in the gym is getting my pull-ups a lot better. So I'm trying to work on controlling my motion of my pull-ups, and I just got to the point where I'm able to do more than 10 pull-ups, like clean pull-ups straight in a row, which is super awesome because I used to not be able to do one. So non-assisted pull-ups are definitely, I'm trying to get to 20 straight. So we'll see if I can get to that within the next couple of months. But let me hop in the shower and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so let's check this out. We don't have too much of this video that I want to clip up and watch. But I do want to watch certain points that are being made here. So I think we had a time step around 34 minutes.
So me and the King were talking about this off camera a little bit, but when I was in college, like I said, when you're at these big PWIs, it's not often that you see someone in your lecture hall that looks like you. Yep. You may be sitting in an organic chemistry class of 200 people, and there's 2 other black men. I remember there was one guy, I don't know this guy's name for nothing. I don't even know if we've ever had a real conversation, but he was in all my classes. I would see him at the barbershop, and we just never even speak. I don't even know what he's up to nowadays. But that was the only black guy that was in all my classes that I would see. And, it gets lonely, especially because, like I said, me and him didn't really have a relationship. So it gets lonely, and I turned to YouTube, and that's how I found Dr. Webb. And Dr. Webb was an orthopedic surgeon, and like I said, when I was in college, I was pre-med, and that was what I wanted to do. So I was just binge watching his videos whenever I was feeling unmotivated, or just looking for someone in the field that looks like me, because it's hard to come by. And when I made that switch to dentistry, of course, even to this day, I still watch Dr. Webb's channel. But when I made that switch to dentistry, I found this channel called Future DDS that was run by 2 students that were at Tufts University, which is also in Boston. One of them is actually one of my frat brothers, and they were doing kind of a similar thing where they were providing information on how to get into dental school, etc. And they actually had this one series that they did where they were interviewing students from every dental school across the country. So that was a good way to find out more information about specific dental schools. Right. But they weren't doing the vlogs that I used to love watching from Dr. Webb. Mm. So I was like, there's a space here for me to kind of fill that void, because if it's something I'm looking for, I'm sure other people are looking for it as well. So I definitely always pay homage to both of those channels, because those are what got me started and what kind of motivated me to keep going. And I just wanted to be that person for the young people that were looking for some type of motivation or role model or whatever it may be. And I'm really surprised at how it's expanded past that. I have, there's actually one person that watches my channel that's one of my friend's moms.
Oh, wow.
I met this girl at one of the conferences. She's now a third year at UNC School of Dentistry. And it's so crazy. I was at this conference in New Orleans, and it's the SNDA conference. So it's for minority dental students. And they also have the NDA, which is like the organization for minority dentists. Mm-hmm. And I'm walking around the welcome reception, and I run into this dentist. I forget her name, but she's a dentist in Chicago. And she's like, hey, I recognize you. Like, do you have a YouTube channel? And of course, like this is back when I had maybe like 5,000 subscribers or so. So it wasn't often I was just getting recognized in public. And she's like, hey, I recognize you. Do you have a YouTube channel? I was like, oh, yeah, that's me. And, she was like, hi, my name's Dr. blah, blah, blah. I'm a dentist in Chicago. Maybe 30 seconds later, I'm still walking around. This girl comes up to me and she's like, my mom loves your YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, I just met your mom over here. She was like, my mom's not a dentist. I was like, wait, what? Yeah. So she told me that her mom was like super nervous about her applying to dental school, and her mom got on YouTube and found me. Wow. And like she always sends her my video.
Yeah, so student Dr. Eli definitely said a lot in this clip. And just to reiterate some of the points that he made, firstly, I can bear witness to how important it is to have content creators that are from a diverse background being on these platforms. Because it seemed like yesterday I was that student, who was on YouTube trying to find out more resources on, what a day in the life of dental school was like, and even like how different people apply to different schools and what stats they had to get in and all these different things, Like back then, I was super like most of us pre dental students or pre-med or whatever you may be, we're super pressed to find out, what are the best things we can do to try to optimize our chances to get into these certain schools. And when you're coming from a background where you may not have a parent who may be in the program, and like my parents, they don't really know what entails applying to dental school. Like everything that I learned, I had to either find on YouTube, in which a lot was from student Dr. Eli's channel and also Dr. Webb's channel too. I didn't know about the DAT. I didn't have people in my life that could tell me about the DAT. I just had YouTube and all these other resources. And it even goes to the point of, best study material to use to practice, having people who you can just look at to see or to get information from, like I feel like a lot of people can kind of discard or forget that everyone does not have those mentors that they may need in that specific moment to get the information that they need. And I feel like using platforms like YouTube or TikTok or whatever it may be to gain that mentorship is something that's very important, and it's something that's really easy to do when you have platforms like this. When it comes to the importance of diversity, right, because that's kind of what I want this video to be focused on, trying to understand why it's important to have some aspect of diversity in every single field. And I'm on the precipice, or I have the predilection of understanding that diversity is something that is important, not just because it inspires different thinking and people who have different backgrounds, but it also showcases to a younger generation who may not have that motivation to get up and to be productive or whatever that be. Maybe they have parents who are lackadaisical, parents who don't care about education, parents who, don't want to see them succeed. And for some of us, it's really ridiculous to even think about something like this. But I've taught students in Baltimore who have had parents who didn't want to see them succeed, or who had parents that didn't care about their education, or that wasn't pushing education, or, didn't care about their success. And the unfortunate reality is, if their parents don't care about it, and their parents are the ones who are supposed to be caring for them the most, that child has a diminished aspect or a diminished sense of their ability to accomplish anything. And when you see all these people around you, like in the organic chemistry classes or in the physics classes, and they don't look like you, number one, so that already makes you feel a little bit insecure. And then not only don't these people look like you, but you're already insecure about yourself, because guess what? Their parents may be engineers, their parents may be doctors, their parents may be lawyers, their parents may be in these respectable positions in society. And you don't really realize how much that actually plays a toll on the child. Because I always tell people, if you want to find out what the child is going to be when they grow up, look at their parent. And when you look at their parent, try to figure out, okay, this child is most likely going to follow in the footsteps of their parents. And for most children, they typically do something very similar or something like close to the line of what their parents do. And if they don't, it's because their parents found some form of like doom and gloom in their profession. Like if your parent's the one to always come home and complain about what they do for work, that child is most likely not going to do that for work. But if your parents want to say, you know what, this is what I do for work and this is what I like to do and I think you should do this or I think you should do that, and you get that point of advice from your parents, then that's most likely what you're going to do. But a lot of these kids who are from the African American community or an underrepresented minority community, they don't have that representation. So I think it's very, very important for channels like Mission to Medicine, channels like Student Dr. Eli, my channel, and other channels like Student Dr. or Dr. Webb's channel to really showcase the importance of having diversity in these settings, because not only can you do it, and not only is it something that's possible for you to do, but you have representation of people who look like you, people who come from similar backgrounds as you, who are doing it. And yeah, it may not be easy, but it's definitely possible. I am one who I have both parents in my household, so I can't complain about that at all. And, you know, both of my parents are educated, college educated. Neither of them are a doctor or lawyer or anything like that, but they both have their college education. And one of the things I realized growing up in a household like that was the importance of education, not only for myself, but for the people who I can impact with my education. And I think that's one of the most driving factors for me personally, because when I went to my family's holiday party, and it was my grandma's birthday as well, you know, I'm sitting around the table with people who are 70 years old, 80 years old, you know, people in my family who, for the most part, when they were growing up, they didn't regularly go to the doctor. Many of them, if not all of them, are all factory workers. So I don't know how much history you all know, but my family were sharecroppers down in the South. And what sharecroppers are is they're individuals who go down to they were in the South right after slavery ended. They didn't have jobs, obviously, because they were slaves before, and they didn't have any place to stay. So what they would do is they would make a bargain with the slave masters or slave owners, who were the landowners and owned most of the crops. And what they would do is they would say, okay, well, you guys can live on my property and you guys can have some of the food that you guys produce, but you owe me this percentage of the amount that you make, and you can only do this for X amount of time. And at the end of the day, it was just some big ripoff. So what ended up happening with my family is that they ended up moving up north. And when they moved up north, most of them became factory workers in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, et cetera, et cetera. Obviously, we know like factory working is not really a big industry now, but that's what they did growing up. So they weren't thinking about becoming lawyers or doctors or anything like that. And, you know, for me personally, I would be the first one in my family to do anything that's really medically related. And I didn't have really that community to lean back on. And many of those people who were sitting at that table during that discussion, they didn't have that either, because they were really hesitant to go to the doctor. The monarch of my family was my dad's grandfather, and he passed away in the hospital, and it wasn't really the best situation for them because of the medical environment. You know, we get anxious about going to see a doctor or going to see a dentist or going to see anyone who's, you know, in a white coat. So, you know, while I was sitting at the table, I was having a conversation with them, and they were asking me all these different questions. And not only was I surprised that I knew the answer to the questions and how to answer it efficiently, but I was just relieved to see how ecstatic they were to learn more about their overall health and to learn more about how they can implement this into their daily lives. And, you know, I could have sat at that table for hours upon hours speaking to them, because as I go through a program that's so rigorous, you know, the days are super long and you get tired most of these days. You start to realize that, you know, you're doing this for more than a salary. You're doing this for more than the recognition that you get for doing something difficult like becoming a doctor or whatever information you may know. But you're doing this to not only care for the patients who you'll be serving, but also, at least for me, to serve as a beacon for the people in my family who may not have this medical information that's second knowledge to everybody else. And you have a lot of people in society who are like that, and my family is one of them. So, like I was saying before, this is another reason why diversity in this field is extremely important. I will stand on that until the end of time. I truly believe that, you know, the more people we have to represent the communities that they're serving, the better the outcomes will be for those communities. And that's not only my personal opinion, that can be statistically proven as well. You tend to have better treatment plan acceptance. You tend to have a better outcome of treatment if you have somebody who is treating that person who represents some aspect of the community or the ethnicity that they're from. And I truly do believe that, with platforms like this, not only are we able to show people from these underrepresented minority backgrounds that this is something that they can possibly do, but it's also something that they can do while educating somebody else, and also informing somebody else through social media or whatever your outlet may be, that, hey, this is something that you can do because I can do it too. So anyway, I don't want to spend too much time lingering on this specific topic. I just wanted to show that brief clip. I want you all to go back and watch this full video. It is an hour and 20 minutes long. I did watch this full video, and there are so many gems in this video that you guys need to watch, guys. They talk about different things with content creation, how to be consistent when it comes to that. They talk about, their undergrad experiences, getting into these programs. Akeem is in medical school, and obviously student Dr. Eli is in dental school. And I'm really loving to see the bridge that we have here between this medical and dental thing. Because, at the end of the day, we're dealing with patients, and overall health is super, super important. And with that being said, guys, I'm not going to linger on here too long. If you all have any questions, comments, or concerns, or even if you like seeing this video of me doing like a brief voiceover of a video that I found interesting on YouTube, please let me know. I'm definitely open to doing more videos like this. And with that being said, y'all, please be sure to like this video. Comment on this video what you think. Is diversity something that's important to you, or you think it's important in the field at all? And even if you have any experiences where you might want to share about the importance of diversity or the lack thereof, let me know. And I'll be sure to comment back to you guys. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.